Hello everyone, it's Attack72 here, and for today, we have got ourselves some latest Pokemon news for today's video, and so the topic we are about to discuss for today is regarding about the latest presentation that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company has given us with the latest Pokemon Presents. In the presentation, they've given out a few details on what we were supposed to know for Pokemon of 2023, and some of the fans, well, most of the fans actually felt like that this presentation was by far one of Game Freak's and Pokemon's most weakest presentations by far. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some that felt, kind of felt like they weren't really, they were kind of okay and all. I mean, some that I feel like fans don't really care about, but there were some that I do really find cool and interested in all. But that's kind of why I want to be recapping to some of the big major stuff that will be happening for this year of Pokemon, and I just hope you all enjoyed this video. And so with that, let's get started talking about what and recapping the biggest highlights for Pokemon Presents. First of all, as per every year, we'll be getting the typical Pokemon World Championship. This time, it will be running around on August 11th to 13th on 2023, and it will be taking place in Yokohama. And, this is just a typical event for those who are, competitive in terms of Pokemon. And I know many fans are, and many competitive Pokemon players are very serious when it comes to IVs and EVs for their, Pokemon battles and all. So this is just a simple one I just want to get out of the way. The next thing I have to talk about is is something to do with Pokemon GO. I'm surprised this is still going, but now it seems that Pokemon GO is now going to have some, representation for Scarlet and Violet. If you play this, if you connect Pokemon GO with Scarlet and Violet, you'll be able to get Gimmighoul, the Roman version in GO, and also get Vivillon, the new type of version, to Scarlet and Violet, which, I honestly never thought I would get the Roman version, which, I mean, come on. I think that kind of existed in Scarlet and Violet. I just don't know how to get that form specifically. But even if that's the case, I do really think that Pokemon GO is still getting a lot of good support. I mean, that's how I managed to get my Mel medal, so that's really something. The next thing I have to talk about is something that fans have been wanting for, whether sarcastically or actually been wanting to see it, and that, my friend, is Pokemon Sleep. And Pokemon Sleep has not been mentioned since, I think, around 2019, and since then, Pokemon Sleep has not gotten any sort of details until now. Not only that, they also showed off the brand new logo instead of the old one that featured Pikachu. Now it shows Snorlax to pretty much match the whole point of Pokemon Sleep itself. Overall, it's now finally here. It's coming out later this year, and we gotten some details about it. And I did see some pointing out that Pokemon Sleep is like the definition of what happened with today's Pokemon Presents presentation. And now we got some of the biggest ones for this one, and this is specifically for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This time, we've gotten two new Paradox Pokemons now added into the Pokédex, or, Scarlet and Violet in general, and you can only get these two by Terra Raids. The first one is the Paradox Pokemon for Scarlet, being Walk and Wake, the Paradox version of Suicune, and the other one is the Violet version. For the Violet version, is the Paradox version of Viserion, I think that's how you pronounce that name, being Iron Leaves. And I'm not gonna lie, what is with Game Freak and naming the futuristic Pokemon's Iron? Like, yeah, we got Iron Valiant, Iron Jugulis, Iron, Hands, Iron Thorns. Come on, get some variety when it comes to names. I don't really get with, Virizion. And what's kind of the most disappointing thing, in my opinion, is that I don't mind the designs of it, but if you played Scarlet and Violet and saw what they look like according to what the book says, I kind of really felt like we could have gotten that version and design instead of this one. I don't honestly mind Walk and Wake, even though that name kind of sounds weird, but I don't really like Iron Leaves that much. It's literally just a robot version of the typical legendary Pokemon that we know. I don't know what really, but I do think that these two Pokemon are pretty cool in my opinion, despite, some issues with it. You can get them actually today with the Terra Raids, and like I mentioned, these are specifically for versions, so you can only get Walk and Wake in Pokemon Scarlet, and then Iron Leaves in Pokemon Violet, and this will be happening until March 12th on a Sunday. So get them as soon as possible, or else you might lose them forever. For now, at least. And now another thing that fans have been waiting for so long, and now my friend, is the Pokemon home support for Scarlet and Violet. It will be officially coming out this early year at around spring from what I can recall, and you can bring these specific fallen Pokemon right here, such as Roman forms that you can catch in Pokemon GO, and also a certain Pokemon that you've journeyed with in the past Pokemon game, which I'm not sure what's that even supposed to mean, but I guess it has something to do with a few certain Pokemon that might, could be added. So yeah, Pokemon home support finally happened, and you can now put your other Pokemon characters in there, going from X and Y, Sun and Moon, and then other stuff. I think we've seen a leak about it already, but I wasn't too sure whether that was fake or not. So yeah, it'll be coming out at around spring, so just a typical thing in terms of Pokemon home updates. And last but not least, we'll be getting a brand new DLC for the game itself. I mean, it was obvious that it was going to happen. No, I'm not going to lie. I did see a lot of fans complaining and sort of commenting, and were somewhat disappointed from the fact that they all thought we were going to get another Legends Arceus sort of Pokemon game, but instead it was basically DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I mean, can you really blame Game Freak? This game just can't. Scarlet and Violet only has been out for like a few months at that point, so it was obvious that DLC was gonna happen. The first thing I have to mention in terms of DLC is that it is now called the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. Area Zero played a huge prominent role in the end of the game, and we weren't too sure what the lore implications was aside from, it being story-wise. But if you want to know some parts about it, the Teal Mask, being part 1, will be releasing on around fall of 2023, so maybe at around like July through October, maybe November. And then finally the Indigo Disc, being part 2, will be coming around winter of 2023, so at around December to February. Funny enough is that when I checked the eShop, I did notice that it does stated before February of 2024, so maybe it may not come out at around December, most likely at around January next year. It is going to be a long wait, but it'll definitely be worth it. Not only that, we get to see the two main Pokemons that will be represented in each part. The first part being the Teal Mask, being that we got this new Pokemon known as Ogerpon, along with 3 other Pokemon that I will not show, which I will show in the comments below. And then the other one representing the Indigo Mask, being this turtle-looking Pokemon, being Terragapagos, which just like with Iron Leaves and Walking Away, this is another Pokemon that can actually be shown and found according to the Scarlet and Violet book if you're at the Mesagosa Academy. So we got some more lore implication wise, and from what I can see from each part, the first part, from what I can tell, must be taking place in a festival, and then the second one that I'm just not too sure of. And last but not least, before I end this off, is that if you buy the DLC very early for Scarlet and Violet, you'll also be getting some special purchases for each of these uniform outfits. Sadly, no casual outfits as many wanted, so we're still going to be stuck with the typical school uniforms. But if you also buy the DLC early, you can actually get an early purchase bonus of a special Hisuian Zoroark that cannot be obtained through normal gameplay. It knows the move Happy Hour, its Terra type will be Dark, and has the charismatic mark. You can only get this code via email, for what I can remember, or something else, and you can only get this before this October 31st, 2023, this Halloween, in order to receive your code. So yeah, that's all the things I can mention in terms of what happened in the latest Pokemon Presents. I'm not gonna lie, the only thing that felt really interesting was the DLC and I guess the Terra Raids, which I've already gotten both the Paradox Pokemon, thankfully, but I also was interested, and I'm not the only one who noticed, that random and most scary looking Pikachu robot that was shown next to the CEO of Game Freak. I'm just saying, that looked kind of cool, but kind of creepy at the same time. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions down below about this. What do you all think of all the announcements I mentioned for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and what happened in the Pokemon Presents? Are you all excited about it? Or are you guys kind of disappointed with the announcements? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos. Follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend.